Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be doing a full test and review of the SERE Strips by Go Prepared Survival. So stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a full test and review of the SERE Strips by Go Prepared Survival. Today I want to talk to you about something pretty freaking interesting. Now, the SERE Strip is a military tinder that is a genuine military issue item. Now, it's not a standard military issue item, as not every single deployed soldier gets these. These are reserved for the guys that basically require a survival kit. You're going to see these come through like in the Rangers, Navy SEALs, MARSOC, things like that. And I'm getting that reference information from Go Prepared Survival and the government contractor who actually makes these. And in my usual fashion, I did some digging, and it's actually kind of hard to get a lot of good solid information on the SERE Strips, as they are kind of like a patented secret from the government. I did get some confirmation from a few military buddies who were operators and on the more covert end of military operations while they were enlisted, and they did confirm that these are in fact genuine military tinder. They were issued these, and all they knew them as were SERE Strips. And as far as I know, Go Prepare Survival, the only people on the planet that have access to them to present them to the market of the civilian realm. Now, a bunch of you might come at me and say, well, Chris, I use cotton balls, I use this, that, and the other. I got matches, I got a Zippo lighter, I got a peanut lighter, I got fire steel in my pockets, I got a flint wheels, I got all that junk. I don't need, what makes this crap so gosh darn special? Well, in transparency, special? Not a lot outside of their convenience. I do like this tinder. We tested this indoors and outdoors in dry and wet environments, and it seems to hold up pretty freaking well. And it doesn't take a whole lot to prep them to get them ready to actually take a spark from a fire steel or a flint wheel. They offer this cotton, and I understand the concept of the cotton. You take the cotton, you fluff it up, you hit it with a lighter or a fire steel, and the flame will actually melt the waxy kind of substance that's on these and then ignite the actual strip itself. However, here on my channel, we like to do things the hard way, so we did everything we could to get these things lit without using the cotton, due to the fact that if the cotton gets wet or you need a fire really quickly, you don't have time to dry it out and mess with this stuff, and it's something you could do, but let's say it's an emergency and you gotta get it going now. These strips are all you got. So that's exactly what we did. We went out of our way to make this as difficult as possible, and as you can see from the packaging, you get 6 SERE strips, you get survival instructions, and the special cotton. As far as I can tell throughout testing, and I have the testing one that they sent me, is I don't see anything different with the cotton. There's no chemicals, I don't smell anything, it doesn't feel weird, it's just cotton. They are waterproof and wind resistant, I can definitely vouch for that. The 3 to 4 minute burn time is subjective actually. Depends on how you burn it and how you use it, and we're able to get some pretty cool run times, and you'll see that here soon. There are no odors that I was able to detect outside of, when you light it on fire and you burn it. I do like the fact, since it's a waxy based substance, it does have an indefinite shelf life, as we know wax will pretty much last forever. And it starts 30 fires when divided. And that sounds all dandy. 30 fires for $13, that's like 15 cents, that's like 50 cents a fire. But that's not good enough for me. I wanted to really push this thing to the limits and really cut this thing down to the smallest nth degree. And we took a full strip, and then we cut it in half, then we cut it in a quarter, then we cut it down, and we cut it down to the smallest. And this is what an 1/8 of a strip looks like, and we actually took this and cut it in half. And that, if you cut it in half and just use that little strip, we found that if you actually roll this thing up, you will get 96 waterproof and wind resistant fire starters that will last up to a minute. And that is freaking awesome. Now for that, getting almost 100 fire starters for that amount of money is a much better deal. Now, I don't want this video to take too long because it doesn't. This item works. As we were testing it and lighting it on fire, we noticed there was a drastic effect on how you light it. If you take the strip as is, so to speak, we'll pretend this is a full strip, and just light it with a lighter or hit it with a spark, it will burn, and it'll kind of catch and burn decently fast. It's okay. But we actually found out that if you roll this thing up, you will be able to get this thing to last a lot longer. And we were surprised that even though we cut this thing down in half to about this much of a strip and then rolled it up, it allowed us to have up to a minute burn times, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we just did a lot of different experiments indoors because we kind of wanted a controlled environment where we could test and see how long it would last. And folding it this way or folding it that way. And we noticed that folding it in a V and then letting it actually sit this way does a pretty good job. But if you create more of a TP fashion and burn it that way, it'll actually cause more heat to come up underneath the tinder and it'll start catching and it'll burn a lot faster. The most effective way to actually use this is to roll it up. In the instructions, it does say to when you roll a full-size strip, it will boil water. So we went ahead and put that to the test, and we actually took our Altoids tin and our only 6 ounces of water because we wanted to give it an easy try, and we realized that one single strip was not going to do the trick. However, if you stick 2 or 3 strips, you will have enough of the tinder to actually be able to create enough heat to boil your water. For me, the biggest selling point of this is this ability to keep it in my everyday carry. Now, the reliability and the usefulness of this fire tinder relates very closely to me to fat rope sticks. And follow me for a minute. It's cotton and wax based, very similar to this, but the design and the shape is completely different. The materials are a little bit different. It is cotton and wax, but they're kind of formulated a little differently. This is made from a rope and that's made from more like a cloth. And this is great for your bobs and your bug out bags. This is freaking amazing. And so will that be. That'll be work really well. Now, these are more expensive, but where I can kind of justify the price to myself mentally is my wallet. Is the fact that I can keep these in my wallet very easily. And I have my little cards. I have the Bronson Lost Hiker kit, and I've got my little sharpener from WAZOO survival gear. But if you take this in the back, I actually have 2 or 3 of these strips actually folded up nice and flat. That's what 2 or 3 strips compressed down fold to, taking up no extra space whatsoever. And for me, that's really where I find this kit to be the most useful. And that's what I strive to do here on my channel, is to make the most useful everyday carry that I can for myself in a survival situation. Because what if I catch myself without my bob, my survival bag, my 206-piece survival kit? What if I catch myself with the bare minimums? And I want to make sure that I have things that I need that I could survive with in a wilderness or emergency situation. So I've got my Fresnel lens, I have some good survival information, I have my tool cards from Grim Survival, I have a sharpening plate here from WAZOO survival gear that I can actually use to sharpen a knife, I have a disc compass that I can use in an emergency to get navigation on my way back. Then I have my SERE Strips, so I have my fire tinder. And then on top of that, just in my wallet, I have an emergency signal mirror, which will give me an ability to signal for help without any issues. And that kind of segues into, so you guys saw this in a recent video where this thing kind of performed on par, if outperformed, the B2 Nano tactical blade by Bomber & Co. Then they have the little fire steel right here, and then they come up with the Photon X Microlight, and this is an EDC kit like this that they sell, and I decided to attach it to my keys because it actually doesn't add a lot of weight or bulk, and if you can handle that kind of bulk, that is a cool way to have some useful fire starting, illumination, and a useful blade for some small light duty tasks that you can use to supplement in lieu of a full-size kit. But with that said, we love the SERE Strips, and we were really happy we got a chance to test them, and that's something that's definitely going to remain in our EDC and going to be a mainstay for quite a few years to come. But that's where I want to toss the conversation back to you guys, is what do you think of the SERE Strips? Do you think they're a worthwhile investment? Do you think they're overpriced? Now keep in mind, you are trading the price tag for portability and reliability within your everyday carry, and that's the concept I want you guys to really focus on. But that just about does for now, and you enjoyed the full test and review of the SERE Strips by Go Prepared Survival. Give this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about does it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.